In this video, we're going to take a look at the Inkwell Press for Blue Sky collab planner. So if you like the style of the Inkwell Press planner, but you just can't stomach the price, this could be a good option. I have in front of me here the around about 6 by 8.5 inches wide version. And the reason I say roundabout or approximately is because the cover is slightly wider than the pages inside. Just keep that in mind. There was also a larger page size version and a daily version, but I liked the weekly because I really do like the signature horizontal layout that the Inkwell Press planner has, which also appears in this collab planner. Love the cover. There were a few other styles to choose from as well, but I really just love this ombre pattern here. It has a twin wire binding. I'd say it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. It does have a clear cover that goes over the top of the ombre, but I just didn't want to get my reflection in the video. So I should preface it by saying the price tag is amazing. It is only 18 USD for this planner, which I just thought was obscenely cheap, especially when it's a collab planner with, you know, a brand name. It's not just some generic planner, it's like a collab planner. So normally they will charge a little bit more for that, but Blue Sky have kept the price really reasonable. To keep it reasonable though, don't expect the paper that the Inkwell Press planner has. The paper is a lot thinner in this one, and you'll see that as we go through, and I will be doing a pen test, which will be in the blog post that'll be linked down below. So just keep in mind, lower price, lower paper quality. So at the front of the planner, we have one sheet of functional stickers. You'll see these, I'd say, muted tones continued throughout the planner. There's a lot of navy, a bit of gray, so quite a neutral color scheme. You can add your own colors if you want, or just keep it neutral. There's no like bright rainbow or anything like that in the planner. It does have a double-sided pocket folder. It is only paper, not even cardstock. It is very bendy. So I could see that getting a bit damaged throughout the year, but hey, at least they have given you a pocket folder at all, because some planners don't. So at the start of the planner, it gives you 3 bonus months of the current year. It goes October, November, December, and then it starts the 12 months of the year, and you get a tab for each month, and there's also a tab at the back for a big note section. So first up, we have the important dates, which is quite a generic 2-page spread. The line spacing is quite wide, which thankfully that does not continue throughout the planner. It gets smaller. I will measure the line spacing for all the pages and have that in the blog post that'll be linked down below as well. So 2-page important dates. I'm hoping that you can see the colors well. My lighting's a bit funny today, but it's navy. So it's navy blue and then black, and that continues throughout the whole planner. We have a 2-page goal planning. I do really like the hexagon theme, and that's continued throughout the planner. I love the consistency of it, something a little bit different. The goal page has a different layout. I personally would need a bit more space to plan, but you could then use that note section at the back of the planner, because there's not a lot of space for each of the categories here. And these categories continue through onto the monthly, which you'll see soon as well. Then we have a quarterly goals page with the hexagons again. It possibly, well, I know for me personally, I would run out of space. Possibly not enough space for most people. But again, there's that note section at the back of the planner. You have a 2025 annual overview. It starts on a Sunday, which is consistent with the monthly calendar. However, the weekly spreads start on a Monday. So keep that in mind if that is a deal breaker for you. The pages turn quite easily on the coil, which is nice to see. Sometimes when it's cheap planners, they don't bend the coil as well, but the pages turn quite smoothly on this one, no issues there. So the 2-page monthly spread, I will measure the boxes for you and the line spacing, all that, and that'll be again in the blog post link down below. So we have the Sunday week start, and then we have a sidebar with the top 5 with those hexagons again, some line writing space, and then a little dates at a glance calendar for the following month. Because Inkwell Press and Blue Sky are US based companies, it's got the US holidays pre-printed. Can't talk. But if you wanted to, you could just get some white out and go over the top, because the font's really small. Now, as I mentioned before, with the paper quality, it's showing through a lot. So I'm expecting that pens and highlighters will all have really bad ghosting, or possibly even some bleed through. So just keep that in mind. If you're really fussy about that, you can always put a piece of paper underneath to try and minimize the amount of like show through. But I mean, that could get a bit annoying if you're having to do that on every page for an entire year. So, I mean, sacrifice, the price is just crazy cheap. So, I mean, I kind of a bit more forgiving when they charge a reasonable price. Because if you want the original Inkwell press, that's like $100 US plus shipping. And then I've got to convert that to Australian. I'm like, that's insane. I cannot afford that. Okay, so then we have for each month a mission board with the same categories that you saw earlier on the gold pages, with the hexagons again, with the gray and the navy theme. Then you get a page to do some open-ended planning, focus box, and then this adorable habit tracker that I'm obsessed with. This is probably my favorite part of the whole planner. I absolutely love the hexagon theme, and I like that they've left it open-ended so you could do 3 of the same habits each month, or you could do different habits or whatever you want. You can shade in the little hexagons or just cross them off. I just really love the hexagons. Then we have the weekly spreads. So you've probably seen this layout before in the original Inkwell Press Planner. I think it's a very functional horizontal layout. It really maximizes the page. There's not a lot of dead space at all. They've gone quite close up the top and the bottom. You get an equal amount of space for each day. It does have that Monday start, which differs to the monthly. So keep that in mind if that's a deal breaker for you. You have those holidays pre-printed again, but it's so small. Like the font is that small that you can easily just use some whiteout and you won't even notice it if any of the holidays aren't relevant to you. Now the months are split. So probably should just show, because that might not have, probably going, what you talking about? So for February, for example, the first day is the 3rd. So if you want to plan February 1st and 2nd, you'll need to go to the back of January to the last spread. And then you'll find those pages there. You get a little weekly focus box with those same cute hexagons again. And then that is the weekly spread. I'll do the line spacing for you. And then at the back of each month, you have a notes and ramblings. And this same layout appears at the back in the notes tab. It's a whole separate category at the back of the planner. You get about 2/3 of the page with line writing space. And then the bottom is a dot grid. Now, most people are used to a 5mm dot grid. This one's a little bit bigger. So it's actually 5mm like in between the dots. So if you include like from the edge of one dot to another dot, it's more like 7mm. So keep that in mind. The grid's a little bit bigger than most people are probably used to. I also personally just prefer the 5mm dot grid, but anyway, this one's a bit wider. Just keep that in mind. I'm not really sure what I would use the dot grid for because it already gives you a habit tracker. So open-ended space for you. Maybe like a little graph to chart progress of something. Now, I did want to show the split boxes. So unfortunately, they do not restart the numbering on the top row. Instead of going 29, 30, 31st, they split the boxes. So you get these tiny, to me, useless boxes. I cannot stand when planners do this. It's my pet peeve. So I will get some whiteout, go over the line, the number, and the little, I don't even know what those holidays are. Anyway, and then I write those out and then restart the numbering and go 30, 31st. And then that way you would get a full box to plan each day. So the same layouts continue throughout the whole planner. Pages are going quite smoothly over the coil, which is good. And then we'll go to the notes section at the back. So you get a fair few notes pages, which is good. I think it's about 20 from memory, but I will count them and have that in the blog post as well. It's that same layout with the lined and the dot grid paper. And then at the very, very back, we have a dates at a glance calendar. If I can just get to it. Here for 2026. And they give you a few lines to jot some notes or significant things that might be happening in that month. Then you just get this clear little like cardstock cover thing, which I kind of don't know why they even bothered. I would just get rid of it. It doesn't really add any purpose. And then you have it's like that poly material that some of the disbound notebooks use to keep the price low rather than like a fake leather cover. So I don't mind it. It's bendy. I don't really like have to worry too much about being precious about it because it's quite durable and thin. It makes the planner really lightweight, but just keep in mind you only get that really pretty ombre pattern on the front cover. It's not on the back, but I mean, whoever looks at the back cover anyway, like who cares? So the price is very cheap. I do think it's good value for money. Just be wary about the paper quality. I'd say that's really the only negative. and maybe also the inconsistency with the Monday versus Sunday start and the split boxes. But I mean, otherwise I really like this planner. I definitely would have brought the daily version to do a video to show you guys as well, but I did not have enough weight left in my luggage limit of my suitcase, so I couldn't buy that, unfortunately. I did get a few other planners in my haul when I went to the US, so I'll have some links to those down below as well, and I'll also have a link to the itinerary and all that sort of stuff, all linked down below. I hope you found this review helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for some more planner related reviews.